Hi, I'm Mary Pepino, and welcome to Fit for You. And welcome to our fourth holiday show. 'Tis the season to be jolly. I love this time of year because we get to spend special time with family and friends. But we also get caught up in, we have to go shopping, and we have to be cooking, and we have to be wrapping, and we have to be decorating. And we put so many things onto our plate, it gets extremely stressful. So I was thinking about the theme for today's show. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about de-stressing ourselves so we can really enjoy the holidays. That's what I want to focus on. We're going to be joined by my dear friend Rose Memo, who's been a big de-stressor in my life. And I think we're going to have some interesting tips for you. And as you're de-stressing your life, think about something fun you want to do for yourself. Something like maybe coming to the Lake Club and listening to Dr. Michael Roizen, who is Dr. Oz's partner in all of his books and the Chief Wellness Officer of the Cleveland Clinic Wellness Institute. I have the honor of chairing Dr. Roizen's Leadership Council for the Wellness Institute at the clinic. And as a result, I'm bringing him here to the Lake Club in Poland, Ohio, where I am standing today and taping our show for a very special holiday event. We're going to have fabulous food prepared by the Lake Club executive chefs and the Wellness Institute's executive chef, Mr. Jim Perko. Heart-healthy food that is fabulous and delicious for the holidays. A beautiful display of holiday gifts so you can do some of your shopping, and a most enjoyable chat with Dr. Roizen as he talks to us about tips and tricks how to be more beautiful for a new you for the new year. You're going to also receive a copy of his book, You Being Beautiful, and I think it'll be a really fun evening. If you aren't doing anything on December 13th, please call and get your tickets. And gentlemen, you're going to enjoy it even more so than the women. Doctors gives you some really interesting information that you would never think about for men and women. I hope you and your families have a very happy and healthy holiday season, and on to the show. One thing I always admired about Oprah Winfrey was her ability to share some of her personal life experiences with her audience, because so often we think we go through situations, difficult situations alone. And she would bring to us the reality that everybody has stress and difficulty and problems, and that includes me. So when I was thinking about who I wanted as my special guest for my holiday show, I asked my go-to person and my dear friend, Rose Memo, who is a licensed, practical, clinical counselor. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. And Rose has been so helpful to me through my difficult situations, and we also enjoy some happy and pleasant times too.
We're good friends.
Yes.
And that makes it all worthwhile.
And it's an honor and to have you with me. So today we want to talk about how can people enjoy the holidays more. You know, stress is always an issue. Tell us what to do, how to do it.
Well, part of the problem is that we have stress all around us. If you listen to anything on television in the past month and the candidates that were running for president, we know the economy's bad, families are hurting, and we can go on and on and on about the stress that young people are feeling. Two-income families, mom and dad both have to work. The kids are difficult today and they're having stresses. Kids today are texting, 4 years ago, texting 400 messages a month. The new estimate is that it's 2,247 messages per month. So technology has taken over, and that provides new stresses for families. We get 247 million emails in this country are passed around as of last year, and they're anticipating it going to 500 million.
Well, and that's a great point, because I know even for myself, I feel like if I don't have my phone or I'm not connected, I'm not going to be able to respond to somebody timely enough, or what am I missing? That is such a great, point in how it's brought so much more stress into us.
Absolutely it has. And kids now are really technologically savvy. I don't even understand half of the commercials on television anymore. The kids do. So that brought a whole new realm into our life in the 21st century that we didn't have. So you add that with the holidays. People are busy enough without the holidays, and then the holiday comes and we look at it and we obsess about it, and we are told by Martha Stewart how to have our holidays. If I did all of the things Martha Stewart told me to do, I wouldn't have time to do anything else. So we want this perfect holiday. We think of it as a perfect day, and we need to change our priorities and change our thinking a little bit. It's not one day. It's not just Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. We need to look at it as a season, and how do we bring meaning of that season into our lives? That's the key.
And Hanukkah, and whatever
yes.
your religious or celebration is, enjoy the period of time.
Absolutely.
Dr. Memo, your husband, who is also a dear friend of ours and was a fabulous addition to my father's medical team, and a key, my father had bladder cancer, and Dr. Memo was very instrumental in curing it when he was with us, so I have such respect and love for him as well. But, talking about the medical aspects of stress, I don't think people sometimes understand, too, it's doing things to your body that you don't even realize, in addition to the things that you're realizing, like maybe you are getting a headache, maybe you're definitely probably prone to overeating and doing some other things like that.
Absolutely. I think stress, even though you say, well, it's just stress, it can affect every part of your body. And so anything that you can do to prevent it will prevent diabetes, blood pressure, heart disease. I mean, it absolutely is critical to have it in tow. And it's a whole process. It's not just, just the holidays. Let's de-stress the holidays. So what I'm proposing to you and to your listening audience is something that they should be doing every day. The things that you do every day throughout the year to de-stress your life is what you should be doing during the holidays. And that's called balancing. Balancing every aspect of your life. The physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. And that's what you need to say, how do I do this on an individual basis throughout the year, and how am I going to even do it more throughout the holiday? There was an old, and I know I shared this with you, a picture that was sent to me by a dear friend in California of two wolves.
I love this.
And the one wolf, they look exactly alike, except one wolf is a little snarly and growly and kind of the evil wolf, and the other wolf is very calm and just sweet and loving and giving. And an old Indian grandpa tells his grandson, you see the picture of these two wolves? We each have two wolves inside of us, and they fight all the time. And the grandson says, and so who wins? And the old sage grandpa says, the one you feed. And I don't mean just feed with food, the one you feed spiritually, the one you feed emotionally. And we all have a dark side. We all have a positive and a negative. And so throughout the holidays, we need to focus on the positive of how do we feed our pleasant little wolf rather than our snarly one. And that takes some time. It takes some effort. It takes some energy. And we can do that in a lot of simple ways. I walked in today as we were taping, and I smiled at one of the ladies here. And the beautiful thing, she smiled back.
Yes.
It reduces stress.
People don't realize the power of saying hello, just a kind word, giving a smile. Attitude is altitude.
Absolutely. Walk into a nursing home. You smile at these little old people in a nursing home and say hello, and you have given them the greatest holiday gift you will ever give anyone. They smile and they think, whoa, she smiled at me. Mm-hmm. She said hello to me. And you say, how was your day? That's all they want to do is share with someone, and so many of them don't. But with that, how to de-stress personally? One, you are the guru.
Yes.
Exercise, exercise, exercise. And if you can't do it an hour a day, as I know you do and I try to do it for 15 minutes. Do it for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. But continue to exercise because that is the greatest stress reducer.
And you know, Rose, you're bringing such an important point, because people think only, well, I need to exercise to lose weight, or I need to exercise to burn calories. And there are so many other benefits to it, you know, for our health. And you're absolutely right. You know, de-stressing is one of the most important.
And especially during this time. I mean, people are spending more than they should. Their kids need things, and so they're saying, oh, I have to do all of these things. And so you need to de-stress by exercising, by continuing on your eating program. And I'm not going to say eating diet. It has to be a lifelong program, especially for those of us who are my age that may be pre-diabetic, may have blood pressure problems. You can't just say, oh, it's the holiday season, I'm going to do whatever I want to do and eat. So you have to say, I'm going to stay on my program, but that means having choices. And I'm a firm believer that you can still choose to eat a piece of cake. You can still choose to have that piece of candy. You just can't do it for 27 days in a row.
Right. And
during Hanukkah, during Christmas, during Thanksgiving.
And you know, you talk about at your age, but it's so important, you know, and you and I aren't that far apart, but you know, it's so important at any age, and there's so much focus and emphasis today on childhood obesity. And even if your child isn't heavy, you know, and you don't have a weight problem in your family, it's still important from a nutritional side. Balance and have some good choices to balance out. So if you're going to have the cakes and the cookies and the candy, balance it with a nice fresh fruit plate as well, with maybe a nice yogurt dip, so you're not eating 20 cookies. Maybe you're eating 1 or 2 cookies and some fruit, and there you have your balance. Or a veggie tray. I mean, it is my absolute must-have as an appetizer with anything I do, because even if I have some other, you know, choices that are richer, at least you have some of that to balance it out.
Well, and have healthy snacks around.
Yes.
You have all kinds of candy and all kinds of the wonderful, yummy things. Have some nuts. Have some fruit sitting out. Have some things that you know you can munch on when everyone else is munching on that great piece of chocolate.
Yes.
Or have some chocolate there that's 90% cocoa, and it may not taste as good, but for me right now, 90% cocoa dark chocolate tastes wonderful. And so I always keep that around so I don't feel cheated. The third aspect of it is get enough sleep.
Oh,
I think
so important.
Absolutely. To lose weight, to stay de-stressed, to keep your blood pressure down, you need to sleep at least 7 to 8 to 9 hours a night. And that means going to bed at a good hour. That means if you need some sleeping aids, use them. Because I know a lot of us tend to get up at 3 in the morning obsessing about everything that we need to do for the next day. So sometimes a little melatonin or a little sleeping aid like that might help you at least get the sleep you need.
And check with your doctor first,
Absolutely.
By the way, before you take anything.
Before you take any homeopathic things, before you take any natural things, you need to check with your doctor. Drinking water.
Oh, key.
We tend to forget to drink water. Sometimes we'll think we're hungry and we really aren't. We're thirsty, we're dehydrated, and that adds to our stress level. Always have a jug of water, your 32-ounce container with your straw next to you at all times, so you can always hydrate. That is a de-stressor.
Well, and you know what else people don't realize too? If you're not hydrated, your mental capacity isn't functioning where it should be. You're not going to have the energy to exercise. Your thinking's impaired, and you physically are not going to feel good, and your looks suffer. You know, you dry skin. You know, the eyes look a little sunken. People don't realize, you know, physical beauty has so much to do with de-stressing and incorporating some of these things into their lifestyle. Because you could be a natural beauty, but if you're not doing the right things, you know, it's going to show in your skin and your hair and your eyes and just your whole being.
Absolutely. The next thing is to breathe. And you think, well, I breathe. We don't. In stressful situations, we hold our breath. I hold my breath. I have to remind myself to breathe. And that means deep breathing. But there's a great technique to de-stress immediately. And that's to put the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Inhale 8 seconds.
All right, let's do that because you had me do it and I was so surprised. So I'm going to put the tongue on the roof of my mouth.
Inhale.
Close my eyes, right?
Yes.
Okay. 8 seconds, right?
Hold it. Exhale for 8 seconds.
Now I'll tell you what I'm doing, and I hope the audience can connect when they're practicing this. And it's so easy to do. You can do it anywhere.
Anywhere.
Right? But it really you've got to get your mind focused, think pleasant things. But if you're doing it right, you're going to be utilizing your abdominal muscles a little bit, you know, as well as, you know, your lungs, and that whole experience can be very tightening and toning too if you keep doing it and making a habit for your abdominal area. It's a nice simple little way to get that done.
Absolutely.
As well.
And I don't know if you noticed, but as you were exhaling, your shoulders were just sinking down.
No, I didn't, and that's a problem for me because I'm always like, you know.
Yeah, and that immediately de-stresses you. When in doubt, deep breathe. It is unbelievable. The next thing is to meditate. And I'm a firm believer, and we shared this, a new book that is out by P.M. Forney called The Thinking Life. And he basically says we need to plan by meditating. We walk haphazardly through life, and we need to really think about it. And the way to think about it is to meditate. And I'm not saying do a yoga class. If you can, that's wonderful if you like it. I meditate in the morning before I get up out of bed. I lie down in bed, and for about 10 minutes, no longer than that, I deep breathe, I tense up muscles, and then I relax them, and then I just think about the day. I plan my day. I plan what I would like to do with my day, and that kind of sets the tone for the day. I de-stress before I get out of bed at all. And it's a wonderful way to plan your life in a positive, kind of forward-thinking way.
You know, when we talk about meditation, and before I really, you know, understood it and did it, it was sort of foreign to me, like it was this major process that you had to learn and undertake, and that's not necessarily true, correct?
No, it's focused breathing, and it's a very active piece, so you focus on your breathing, and you breathe in and exhale, breathe in and exhale, and you relax. And truly, your mind becomes more alert rather than less alert. And it then focuses you for the entire day. It's a really good thing to do in the morning.
And would you agree when you start, close your eyes and start focusing on your breathing, and then you can start thinking about pleasant things in your mind and then go to that. But I think for me anyway, to start the meditation, I just have to stop what I'm doing, stop what I'm thinking. You know, even if it's morning, sometimes I'll wake up and I'm thinking about I have to do da-da-da.
Right.
Like, okay, deep breath and focus on the breathing. And
you focus on the breathing first,
yeah.
And then the thoughts will come. And I'm always a firm believer that I get my best thoughts when I'm writing, when I'm doing anything, when I am in that meditative state. And the messages that I get from internal, I believe, are from my higher power. And I think they are very spiritual, blessed messages. And so that kind of focuses me for the entire day. I also believe that we need to turn off our phones. I mean, all of us here today said we have to turn off the phone before we tape. We carry it around with us. And I think during dinners, during special times with your kids, with your husband, with your significant other, with your parents, turn off that phone so it doesn't stress you while you're interacting with the people that you love. Turn off your internet for about 3 hours a day. That is sacrilege, me even saying it, but turn it off. I've done another trick. During the campaign, I was getting campaign calls 10 a day. So I let them fill up my answering machine, and now if you call me, you have to talk to me because my answering machine is completely filled, and no one can leave a message for me.
Aww.
Because I want people to talk to me, not just leave me a message.
Uh-huh.
And so turn off your answering machine. That will help de-stress you. The rule for you as a person, personally, and one last technique, is to keep a diary. To keep a diary of good books that you've heard, to keep a diary of good people that you've met, good friends. Keep a diary of the things that are positive in your life. Keep a diary of the things that are negative in your life. Now, I hear a lot of people out there saying, well, I blog every day. Blogging is not a diary. Blogging is for everyone else to read. A diary is for you and your personal growth and your personal healing. And it's to keep you on the straight and narrow. It's to keep you focused. If someone has hurt you, you write down the circumstance, you write down your feelings, you write down what you've learned, and you let it go. It is a great way to heal any part of your life, keeping a diary. It de-stresses you because once you've written something down that has stressed you, you can let it go then.
And you know, a tip I took from you, you know, because it's worked so well for me, so it was like, okay, write a letter. So I wrote the letter. I never gave it to, I didn't give it to anyone.
Right.
But I wrote the letter to the individual, and it was very good for me personally. And I found that technique now in other aspects. You know, if you don't necessarily think about how you want to journal and you're struggling with a situation, you know, that's another way, I would say, of diarying.
It's a positive way. It's cathartic. And once you've written it, and if you say it aloud, your brain thinks you've actually said it to the person, and your brain says, okay, we're good now. You're good. We're fine. And you can move on from it. And that is the greatest way to heal yourself. It's not meant for anyone else.
Well, and another aspect of diarying that I love too is I have my diary of, you know, the things I want to do, or like if I want to be, like my idols in life are like Sophia Loren, I love her. So, but you know, like, okay, I want to do this, or I can do this better. So I have my little diary of, and then I think, okay, how can I get there? Things that would make me feel better about me, you know?
Right.
So I think it's okay to talk about, okay, who you are and what you are, and dream a little bit, and write it down what that dream looks like, and maybe, you know, you can start to bring that dream into reality.
Well, and there are three things: your needs, your wants, and your desires, and your dreams. And so your needs are non-negotiable. Your wants, desires, and dreams are negotiable, but you kind of keep them there, and they're things for you to work towards. But it helps you keep in tune with what is real and what is fantasy, and you put that in your journal. You can put anything in your journal. It is meant for you. It is meant for your life's growth and your life's journey. It's a really positive thing. All of these things then help you feed the good wolf inside of you versus the snarly wolf, because you are taking care of yourself first. And we've trained our kids, you know, be nice to other people, be nice to older people, and we're now training them to be good to themselves because of all of the people we've placed them in harm's way with. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our children. And all of these things help you do that. You put yourself first, not in a narcissistic way, but you put yourself first, like, I'm going to take care of myself, so then I can give to everyone else.
And, you know, that's a great point, because I think the first person you think about giving to for the holiday, think about what are you going to give you? And like you say, decide on what do you want, and it doesn't have to be something material. What are you going to give you, and then what are you going to give? And like you say, it's not, you know, always a material thing. There's so much, you know, giving kindness when you're stressed, or giving kindness to someone who's just irritating you, you know, That's giving something. That really is giving. Because to give when it's easy and, you know, it's something you want to give, that's a simple thing to do.
Absolutely. And that you offer it up to your higher power, whatever you believe it is.
Yes.
And that's a real positive thing. You know, the other thing is there's some real practical things to de-stress. One, cook less. We live in an area that you can get almost any ethnic food you want or need. And I've found that I can order things easier and less expensive than I can if I cook them. So bake less. One year, I used to do a Christmas cookie exchange with friends, and everyone was so stressed and frazzled by bringing these cookies that we then shared with each other. And so one year I said, bring the best bought cookies you can find. And we laughed about it like no one wants to bake in this group anymore. So recently we don't bake anymore. We just get together. And so find ways to de-stress. Buying gifts. Make a decision. I'm not going to buy everything on my child's list or everything on my grandchildren's list. I'm going to buy them one nice thing. What do they really need? We all give way too much, we buy too much, we cook too much, we bake too much. We are in excess in this country. I've often said we need to go back to Europe because they seem to have a little better handle on it. They know how to relax, they take siestas, they know how to cook, they enjoy meals longer. We are so rushed. So take a little extra time. Instead of doing some of the things, choose to do 1/3 less than what you've always done. I would bet you're not going to miss that third because we are so pressure-packed with everything we want to do. Wrap less. One year, I decided I wasn't wrapping at all.
Oh, I love this.
I went to one of the stores, and I don't even remember which one, and I found cranberry garbage bags that were cinnamon scented. Everybody got their Christmas gift in a cinnamon-scented red garbage bag. I saved trees. You know, the ecologists loved me. I saved time, which was great for me. And everyone took their gifts home in the garbage bags that they then could use. And the room I had all of the Christmas gifts in smelled so good. It smelled like cinnamon. It absolutely was. My kids kept looking at me like, Mom, that's just terrible. I thought, help me not stress out. And that's a real positive. Anything you can do. You know, we only send cards to people that are out of town. You know, and it's a typed letter. This year it was just a picture with my grandchildren. What more do I need to say? So I don't do some of the things that I used to do. I decorate less. I didn't put up nearly as much this year as I always do. You know, so we have this picture-perfect holiday, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, you know, whether you're Buddhist, you know, Muslim, you have your own traditions, but choose to make them meaningful. Choose to bring the meaning of what you celebrate into the holiday versus just saying what television, what the commercials say we need to do.
Well, and you know, I think the perfect boundary line is, you know, when is it enough? When it doesn't feel good anymore and you're just doing it because you feel it's an obligation, that's probably when you want to stop and say, you know what, okay, that's enough now.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. I also think we need to lower our expectations.
Yes, absolutely.
Of ourselves, of everyone. And I believe also, Forney, who wrote the Thinking Life, wrote also a book on civility. And we need to get back to that. Yeah. We need to smile more at each other. We need to talk to them on the phone rather than texting them. Yeah. We need to communicate more. We need to have that personalness in our life. Take a walk with a friend. You know, instead of...
And a great thing to do after a meal,
yes,
or when you're a little bit frustrated and, you know, you just need a break from whatever it is because, you know, you're preparing or doing something that, there again, it's building stress.
Well, and instead of exchanging gifts with friends, say, you know what, let's give this money to a really worthy cause. Or let's not give any gifts to each other. Let's just take a walk. Let's go to lunch together. Let's spend time together. That's the greatest gift you can give a friend, is spending time.
And your kids.
Your kids, your mother, your father, your grandparents. And if you don't have any of them around, go to a nursing home and do a party for the nursing home. They will love you.
That's so sweet.
Those are the things that add meaning to the Christmas season. Those are the things that you say, all right, I'm going to prioritize what's important. What can I do to do something outside of myself? That's what builds. Remember I said the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. Take time to read an inspirational book. And I'm not saying the whole book. Keep it in the bathroom.
Yep.
Read
or by the bed.
Or by the bed. Read 5 minutes of it, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Spiritually, what are you going to do for someone else that is less fortunate than you? You know,
Rose,
the magnificent obsession.
Yes.
That's what Rock Hudson did. You know, give away something and never ask for anything in return.
The ultimate. I can't thank you enough. I know you brought a little book with you.
Well, it's a book that I found. It's called The Spiritual Box, the Sparkle Box. The Sparkle Box, and it has the Sparkle Box inside. And it, you are to put all of the good things that you do for other people in this box, and then open it Christmas morning with your children or your grandchildren. And that's your gift to Jesus. For those of us who are Catholic or Christian, that's our gift. But it could be the gift to Buddha. It can be the gift to Muhammad. It can be the gift to your higher power. And it is your Christmas gift to Mother Earth, if that's what you choose to believe in, because it is something you can give to other people.
That's so precious. I thank you so much for being with me this special time of year.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you'll come back and join us in 2013 as we'll be in a whole nother mindset after the first of the year. Get energized. Let's get, exercising. But this was so wonderful and so meaningful. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you. My heartfelt thanks to you.
Thank you. People are always asking me to give them advice because they want to purchase holiday gifts that are going to help them get healthy and fit. Exercise equipment, bands, balls, and I tell them, think of simple things. Stocking stuffers, jump ropes, workout gloves, books. I love to go to a bookstore. Look for low-fat, delicious recipes that you like. Buy that book. Look for books on how to exercise or how to meditate, or books that just think about things that you want to do on your healthy and fit plan. Think about how to buy a book on making a plan, because if you're going to get healthy and fit, or if you want to improve your fitness level, you've got to start with a plan. You know me, I'm big on planning, the queen of spiral tablets, because I'm always jotting notes down, setting goals, making objectives, and monitoring as I go. I'm standing here in the Lake Club's fabulous fitness room, and I want to talk a little bit about fitness equipment because it's a really large purchase, and so often people go out and think, okay, I'm going to go buy a treadmill and I'm going to start doing the treadmill on January 2nd and I'm going to lose 20 pounds. It doesn't work that way. They go out, they spend a fortune on a treadmill, they stick it in a basement, and it sits there and collects dust. Or they'll use it for a couple of weeks. So some tips about how to purchase fitness equipment. Number one, think of the simple things: who, what, where, when. Who's going to use it? What size are the people that are using it? What are the people going to use it for? Are you going to run? Are you going to walk? Are you going to jog? Do you like that kind of activity? Would you rather be on an elliptical? Would you rather be on a bike? Think about the activities that appeal to you, and then purchase a piece of equipment that is going to be able to accommodate you to do that activity. Now think about where you're going to put it, because it's not just about buying the equipment. Are you going to put it somewhere where you have beautiful lighting? I want you to put it in a room or a small area that's invigorating, that's motivating. Don't stick it somewhere like a basement or somewhere that you really don't enjoy going to, because you have to make the effort to do the activity and the exercise. You want it to be in a lovely environment. So when you think about holiday gifts, think too about the other things you're going to need in order to make that piece of equipment useful to you. Do you have a nice TV? Do you have a nice sound system? the things you like to do when you're working out. Think about all those things that come into being. Think about buying even beautiful towels, so you have a beautiful towel to wipe the perspiration off when you're in the middle of a workout, for example. Lovely, lovely things. And I want to demonstrate one more holiday gift item before I finish this segment. I was thinking social media is such a big thing. Technology is so strong today. And there are many items out there that you can purchase to help you get fit. So I'm going to be joined by my last show's guest, Rachel Pavelko, who is also my social media and marketing communications director at Pepino, to explain to us how to use the new Nike Fuel Band. So if you give me a sec, I'm going to grab Rach. I'm sure you're very familiar with a lot of the traditional fitness gifts, but in our technologically savvy society, there's a lot more out there now, things that can keep you on track of a really good health and fitness plan. We wanted to do a little bit of research, so I went to my go-to social media person, Rachel, whom you'll remember from our last show. And I told Rach, do some research, as to what's out there and what's available. And I happen to have the Nike Fuel Band because my other little adopted nephew, Jamie McNally, decided his mom, my dear friend Linda, and I needed the Nike Fuel Band, a few months ago. Don't get mad at me, Jamie. I haven't worn it yet, but after today's show, it's going on. So anyway, we got the Nike Fuel Band. Yep. I think it would be a great holiday gift. And I said, okay, Rach, take it home and tell us what it does so we can show our viewers a sampling of what's out there today. So we open the little box, and here's our Nike Fuel Band right here. Right?
Yep.
And then along with it, we get a few other things. So tell us what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. What do we have here?
The other things that come in the box are just the USB cord.
To charge it.
And if you want to plug it in directly to your desktop, if you don't want to go through the syncing process of syncing it to your iPad or your iPhone or whatever other smartphone you may have, you can just do it directly through the Nike Plus website, and that's when you'll need your USB cord.
So what this is going to do, it's going to track my activity level and then give me information to make sure that I'm taking as many steps or burning as many calories as I have set for my goal that day, correct?
Correct. When you first get it and set it up, you'll follow the instructions on the Nike Plus website, and it'll ask you to share what your weight and your height is, and then pick a level of activity that you want for that day, how active you're planning on being. Are you going to be working out? Will you be at work? And then you can set your goal from there. It'll give you a point value that you're going to try to hit, and it bases the system off earning fuel points.
Now, how did you learn all this? Because they don't give you a lot of instructions, as many things do today. They send you to the internet for your instructions. Is that what you did with this?
Yep, there's a lot of instructions on the Nike Plus website, which is the host for all these different Nike products. So that's where you're going to want to go to get this originally set up.
Okay. And so once you go there, then you put in all this information, and then you put this on today or yesterday, correct?
Yes. I started it this morning, and after syncing it to the iPad, you also need to download
it's just a simple
the Fuel Band app.
Right.
So once you go and download the app, you can sync the Fuel Band to whatever piece of technology you prefer, your phone, your iPad, laptop, whatever you'd like.
Okay. And there's a nice little button here.
Correct. And on the Fuel Band, what it actually shows you is your fuel score.
All right, now wait. There are 3 little red lights here. What's that telling me?
That's a representation of how far you are towards your goal in fuel points.
That you've set for the day.
Right. So right now we're at 443 fuel points.
543.
Oh, I'm sorry, 543. And we're in the red, which means we still have a long way to go.
What's a little green light that's flashing over here?
I'm not sure.
Okay. We'll keep going.
It also shows you what calories you're at for calories burned for the day and steps taken. So 951 steps, and then also it shows you the time just as a regular watch would.
And I know the Cleveland Clinic Wellness Institute likes you to take about 10,000 steps a day. So that's a nice little gauge to tell us we've got a long ways to go.
Right.
Okay, so you downloaded it to your iPad.
Exactly. And this is the homepage of the Nike Plus Fuel Band app. And when you hit this button and hold it down, you'll see lights that flash up that say sync. And that will automatically sync your information that's on your fuel band in terms of how many calories you've burned, how many steps you've taken, right to your iPad or iPhone or whatever you're using to use the app. So the home screen shows just that, the calories, the steps, what your daily average is for fuel points. Right now, 544. If we lift this up, this shows a little bit more of the social media aspect of the fuel band, and it allows you to share your current progress, your activity points, your calories on either Facebook or Twitter, and also through the Nike Plus community if other people have the same exact app and product. So you're able to share this information with your friends through social networking.
And you know, that's good if you have a little group. You know, I'm a big believer in, you know, if you're working out with a workout partner, or you have a small workout group and you set, you know, everybody's setting a goal and you're kind of seeing how you're comparing to somebody else, it's motivating to a lot of people. So that's a great way to stay motivated and sort of challenge yourself, you know, with your friends and your little peer group.
Exactly. Yep. Nike Plus really supports having a leaderboard on their website, so you can kind of compete with your friends that are also using the product to see who's got the most points or calories burned or anything like that.
I think it's a great way to stay focused, to stay on your plan, and like I said, you know, to sometimes possibly, you know, share with people that aren't in your geographic location, but that are, you know, are motivators for you.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
The other things on the app are just a tally of your best day, your best week, and your best month in terms of how active you were. Anytime you get a new record, it plays a little video.
I love the graphics these days, no matter what, they're great.
And here again, it gives you an option to share. So if you hit a new record on your fuel band, you can share that right to your friends.
Thanks, Rach.
Sure.
Thank you so much. To our viewers, again, I want to wish all of you a very, very happy and healthy holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. I'm Mary Pepino, and thanks for watching Fit for You.